Brother Nashi, I saw a post on Facebook. It was months ago, and I started praying for that woman, even though I don't know her. I just saw a post as I was busy scrolling on my Facebook. It was about a woman who was begging for money on social media. Do you know how dangerous it is for someone to go on Facebook, especially Facebook? It is like a village of ritualists because it is easy to access people that are broke, those that want to get rich very fast. You won't see it on places like Twitter or Instagram because at least the people that are there, they are not really broke, they are middle class. But on Facebook, it is a lot of people that are mixed up, including those that want fast money. When I saw her post, I said to God, I don't have the money to give to this woman, but I am going to be praying for him. That is all that I can offer to him. So, brother, I am sending this because I want people to know the dangers of borrowing and asking money on social media. When I saw this post from a woman who was begging for 600 rand so that she can buy some flour rice for her and her son, my heart literally stopped. I wanted to cry because this was me. It was in the year 2017. I remember that day as if it was like yesterday. I was sitting in a shack in Diepsloot, watching my 4-year-old son crying himself to sleep because his stomach was empty. I was so desperate, so much that I posted on a group and I was like, help me group. I wrote, please, if there is anyone that has money, just assist me with money so that me and my son, we can buy some food. And this was not a scam. Me and my son, we had not eaten in days. We were surviving on bread alone. I wanted money and I was willing to pay back that money with interest even. I even put my account number and my WhatsApp. I later deleted my account number because I was afraid that maybe there were some Nigerians that will steal my account and use it to scam people. I was just poor and I was desperate to get anyone to assist me, and I prayed for a good Samaritan. On Facebook, the chances are quite high that there is no good Samaritan that is going to come and assist you. I did not get the help from a good Samaritan. I got a DM. It was from a woman whom I'll call Mama Zim, and her profile picture, when I went to look around, I saw that she was someone that had a lot of money. The cars that I saw on her page, you could tell that this person is blessed and she has a lot of money. And she did not ask me for my personal story. She just said that she was going to assist me, but the money that I was asking for, it was too little. And with that mentality, I was going to stay poor for the rest of my life. She said to me, if you are tired of you and your son going to bed hungry, let us meet. Where do you stay? I then told her that I stayed in Diepsloot, and I said, oh, okay, it's fine. How about you meet me at the Shell garage in Midrand tomorrow? Are you free? And I said, yes, I am free. She promised that she was going to change my life and she was going to give me money. I borrowed some money because I did not even have taxi fare. I was thinking of walking all the way to Midrand. My friend borrowed me money which was not enough. I walked half the way so that the money that had been given to me by my friend, at least it can be enough. When I met this woman, she did not look like a witch. She did not look like a she-devil or the wife to a spiritual husband. She looked like a normal woman. I thought that she was South African, but she was not. She bought for me a massive meal and then she handed me 5,000 rand in cash. I felt like I had met an angel of the Lord, and I wanted to go back on Facebook and tell people and tag her and say that this is the woman that has assisted me. But Mama Zim told me that I should not do such a thing. What I did not know about Mama Z was that she was a recruiter for a satanic club, which I will change the name and say that it was called the Daughters of the Serpent Women's Club. She told me that she was Mozambican, and I said, oh, you sound and you look South African. She laughed at me and she said, oh, it is money. So she lived in Joburg, even though she was from Mozambique. She told me that God had forgotten about women like us, single mothers, and she had a mother who looked after single mothers like me who was in Nigeria. She told me that if I wanted real money, I was supposed to go with him and other women so that we can meet the All Mother who was going to bless us in Nigeria. I said, I don't even have money. How far is Nigeria? I did not even know. She said that we will have to use an aeroplane to go to Nigeria. And I said, can I go there without a passport? And he said, no, dear. Then we have to postpone. Let us wait for your passport. After a couple of days, she came and she took me to the Home Affairs. And then I applied for my passport. I was so excited when I was looking at everyone that was in the queue. I was like, oh, these poor people. One day I am not going to be in this same class of such poor people. When you think that you're about to have money, there is this thing that happens to you. You start to look down on other people. That is what that was happening. So this woman, she had been assisting me. When my passport was done, I left my son with my young cousin brother Tabo, and me and this woman and a couple of other poor South African women. Most of them, they were beautiful and young. I was the only one that was old. We were on a plane going to Lagos with this woman that I had met on Facebook. I did not even know her. I took a big risk, and when we arrived in Nigeria, we were taken outside of Lagos. The village where we were taken to, it was just a forest. You could see trees everywhere, nothing else but trees. This woman told us that we were in a sacred place, and I thought that going to Nigeria, since this woman, she used to send me Bible verses every morning on WhatsApp, I thought that maybe we were going to a conference, a church, your TB Joshua, Pastor Chris. Those were the Nigerian pastors that I knew, but it was not a church. It was a traditional shrine. I was surprised. There were other women that we met that also came from different parts of Africa. They were so beautiful, especially the Tanzanians that we met there that did some businesses. And the majority of them, they were wealthy. They had came to thank the All Mother. So one by one, we were made to do the process so that you can be initiated. We were told to write the names of those that we loved. I wrote my son's name as well as Tabo's name, including his mother, because those were my closest family members. Then one day we were made to sit inside a circle, and we were told to remove all of our clothes. There were reed mats that had been laid on the ground. We slept naked, and I saw a python that came out of nowhere, and we were told that this python that we were looking at, this was going to become our husband. So this husband of ours came and he started to bless us. He slept with us all one by one. This serpent was crawling all over me as it was making love to me. That night, that was when I became a she-devil. I became part of this occultic group. When I came back to South Africa, the change was almost instant. By 2018, I was someone that was making money. This is how I started making money. I was getting gifts from men. A man would propose love to me when I would have gone out shopping. A man would come to me and will tell me that he is so horny, he wants to sleep with me even in the mall. Then we would go to a lodge. When we have gone to the lodge, he will say, my babe, you have treated me so well in bed. And all of these men, when they will be saying all of these things, it will be like they are zombies. There was one guy who even told me that he wanted us to run away from his wife who had gone into checkers, and we went to a lodge, and he said that he was going to lie to the wife that he had gone to fill up for diesel whilst she was shopping. And this guy ended up giving me 10k and said that he was going to explain it later to his own wife. He paid me a lot of money for only one round. I felt as if I was robbing him. So I asked Mama Z what was happening. Why was it all of these men were giving me this money? And then she told me that all of these men were giving me money because of him. And I said, who is he? And she told me that it was the snake, that one that had made love to me. I was a wife to that snake, so this meant that any man that I would sleep with would give me all the money that he could give to me. There was a guy who taught me to apply for tenders. Then I started to do tenders. I moved out of Deep Sloot, and then I started renting in a gated estate in Centurion. I started to do transport, and I bought a lot of cars as I was transporting people from the mines and bringing them back. It was a small business, but the money that I was making, since this snake would come to donate the money to me, including all of these men that I was supposed to sleep with, and they would give me the money. So I was told that I was not allowed to fall in love, to sleep with a normal broke guy, unless if I had been told by the snake to sleep with a man so that his energy can be drained from him, and if he had a gift, even if he was poor, then it meant that his gift would be stolen from him. I noticed that every man that I dated ended up losing his business or getting a mysterious illness. This usually would happen after 7 months of being with me. I did not know by then that I was a she-devil. I became so heartless. I stopped visiting my mother. I was cruel towards my mother until she died. My mother died as a crippled woman. I stopped caring about my son. I hired 3 nannies for him and gave my brother Tabo a credit card. I did not want to be close to him because I felt like I was about to sacrifice him. My life was all about me living for this occultic group. We would meet once in secret locations in Joburg. We would always wear expensive clothes, and we worshipped the All Mother, which is the devil, and it is Lucifer. For Lucifer is both a woman and a man. We were not allowed to go to funerals. I have a lot of relatives that passed away, and I was not allowed to go to a funeral because entering in a place where there is a dead body, it will drain my energy. I was strictly forbidden from entering any place where the name of Jesus was mentioned. If a gospel song came on the radio in my car, I'll start to cough and choke. I made sure that I only listened to radio stations where they would not randomly play gospel songs. I loved listening to other stations where they are more about having conversations about the country, like SAFM, and when it came time for them to play music, I will switch off the radio. Most of the times I was on the road because of my business. So this serpent would come whenever it wanted to, and it would sleep with me. I was told to go and buy a live animal which I would leave in my bedroom. Being a ritualist, you do anything. I once bought a goat. After I had bought this goat, I went on a vacation and I left this goat in my bedroom. No food, no water. I had tied a duct tape around its mouth so that it won't make a lot of noise. When I came back, the room was smelly. I saw that the goat had been eaten by the python, but this python, the way that it ate the goat, it was not as if it was a normal snake, because a python, it just swallows and after digesting it vomits, but this one, it ate this goat as if it was a lion. This is what happened. When I came back, I was told not to clean. I was supposed to live in that filth, and it was smelling. So my cousin brother, he became suspicious. He asked me why was it that I was always on the aeroplane going to Nigeria. He asked this when I had gone to his place because I just wanted to see my boy, and he embarrassed me. I felt like he had embarrassed me. When I returned back home, I then summoned the other sisters and I told them what my cousin brother had done to me. And then I was told that he was going to expose me. His God was going to show him some visions about some of the things that I was doing. And in order for this not to happen, I was supposed to sacrifice him. I even resisted, but I was then called to a meeting in Mozambique. I was told that this man, he will end up exposing me to everyone. In order for this not to happen, this man, he was supposed to die. But first, he was supposed to cheat on his wife so that he can die in sin. I had a beautiful friend who was also a she-devil. She was the one that would force me to go to Tabo's house, and she would act up whenever the wife would be in the kitchen, look at Tabo, even play with him, and they ended up sleeping with each other in a toilet. This is what they did. In a toilet, they slept with each other. Then he died through an accident, but before he had passed away, I bought a specific suit for him to wear on his birthday. It was a gift from his rich sister. The suit had been prepared in Nigeria. Then I gave it to him. Tabo was driving his small car when he saw a massive snake, because I saw him in a vision. Most of the people that you hear that they've died in the middle of nowhere, usually they would have had a spiritual encounter, and then they just go and hit a tree and they die. He died on the spot. At his funeral, I cried, but I was lying. I was not even crying inside. I was celebrating. After Tabo had passed away, maybe he was too prayerful, I started to see his ghost, and I was always being tormented by that snake. Things started to happen I could not even understand. I made so many sacrifices, but there was nothing that was changing in my life. Then one night, I saw that my bank account was not working. I did not know that SARS had frozen my bank account. That was the end of the story. I was locked up in a battle and I lost it. For this money that I had, it was not mine. It had been given to me by those women from Nigeria and Mamazi. When they saw that I was about to expose them, because I kept on crying to them, telling them that I had this demon that was following me around and I wanted out. They took back their money. I could not take it anymore. I drove to a small church in a township, not one of those big prophetic churches. It was just an old school Pentecostal church. I walked in during the midweek service, and then I just started to cry to the pastor, and the pastor prayed for me. When the pastor prayed for me, there was nothing that happened. They just thought that I was a woman that was suffering from depression. Even the pastor told me that I was supposed to get professional counseling because of the way that I had cried walking into the church. I lost everything. They took everything. I even had dreams of people going to my bank, which I was banking with FNB, and they collected all the money that was in the account. This happened in my dreams. My accounts, they were frozen and I never recovered. I am 34 years old and I am starting over. I don't have a Range Rover, but I thank God that I still have my soul. When I die, at least I won't go to hell. I don't have millions, but I live in peace. To anyone that is going to be listening to this, who is tempted to go and sell their star for a soft life, my advice, don't do it! Exclamation mark. Because once you do it, it might be difficult for you to get out of that life. Please post my story. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. who is saying that she used to be a she-devil who was very cruel towards her family. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us talk with him in the comment section.